Clemson. Victoria Walgren ready to serve for Virginia Tech. And we are underway with the Hokies in white and Notre Dame in blue. Palazzolo with a swing. Walgren. Angle Duran getting the kill. Now she is not wearing the libero shirt, Jake. That's been interesting.
Yeah, Manuel Duran has really played primarily libero since the beginning of October for Virginia Tech, and I think has done well in that position as, you know, ball control, outside hitter, libero kind of combo player. Interesting change for the Hokies tonight. Looking to get more passing and defense out of one of those outside spots. Plus, Haley Pierce moving from the left side to the right.
Drops for Notre Dame's first. There is Haley Pierce there, the sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina. And it'll be Anna Bjork's turn to serve. She's the freshman from Wisconsin.
This is a big help, actually, this switch. Pierce is pretty natural on the right side, but this rotation one here, Manuel Duran is able to hit right side, lets Pierce hit left. A little bit easier solution for Virginia Tech in a rotation they've really struggled in this year.
Walgren to Pierce, off of the head of Bjork, and that stays alive. Diving play, Schrader lobs it up. Falls right in the middle of the court, an easy kill for Palazzolo.
You can see Belle Patrick picking herself up off the floor. She's inside the 10-foot line there. She plays middle back, Bailey. That's not her responsibility to take that tip and roll shot at the 10-foot line. That has to be Victoria Walgren. It has to be Manuel Duran coming as an off blocker. They're asking Patrick to do too much defensively.
And just received the serve there as well. Knocked over, Manuel Duran. Off of the tape. Palazzolo. Popped over and out of play, point Notre Dame.
Another question for Virginia Tech as they rotate here. Are they sticking with a 6-2? Are they going to bring Sarah Malinowski in? Is Walgren going to hit like she has been the last month or so in ACC play? A little bit different lineup and system change for Virginia Tech.
Right into the net. Jasmine Robinson getting the start for Virginia Tech. Did not play against Stanford, interestingly enough. Played against Cal. Hokies coming off of that long West Coast road trip. I guess you shouldn't say it's a road trip at all. You fly out there. One of those new challenges with the new additions to the ACC. Marcy Byers heading up Virginia Tech in her 5th season. Was a head coach down the road at Radford for over a decade. 4-time Big South Coach of the Year. Big swing. Easy kill there for Notre Dame's Grace Langer. Here comes Ella Sant. Been in college volleyball for quite a while, wrapping up her career at Notre Dame after a promising career at St. Mary's. Through the block, kill Haley Pierce.
Pierce just going low seam here, kind of challenging the block. You've got to be careful there. You usually want to work the edges, Bailey. Work line, cross, high hands. That time she's able to power it through. That, you can't count on that.
Hokies thought they kept it alive, but instead it will drop for Ella Sant.
It's a similar situation to the tip roll shot kill earlier on the left side, is you have to be able to dig those short balls with your wing diggers.
Salima Rockwell looking on in her 3rd season as a Notre Dame head coach. After a promising career as an assistant at Penn State, shouldn't say promising, just a almost Hall of Fame career as an assistant at Penn State. Got into being a head coach at Notre Dame after a brief retirement from coaching. On a team that has dealt with a lot of injuries throughout the season. Unfortunate for this team from South Bend. Dropping in for Avery Ross.
Ross out of system, 12, 13 feet off the net. Takes a high swing in the court. Something good happens from it. You want to stay aggressive in those positions. It's a tough serve. That's a tough serve.
Right at Bell Patrick. Now Patrick.
Ooh, that's a great set from your knee, bump set from your knees.
Able to Rand. Here comes Avery Ross. Another kill coming off of the bench for the junior from Indiana. So why is this serve tough, Jake?
Well, first of all, it's from a high point. She drives it down into the court. You know, she's getting on top of it. Sydney Palazzolo is. Oh, that's good. Good tough swing down the line from Haley Pierce. So some players like to deal with float serves, some like to deal with topspin. Nobody wants velocity, Bailey. And Palazzolo really brings a lot of velocity on that jump float.
So Hokies down 5, trying to beat Notre Dame for the 2nd straight year, and playing Notre Dame in this match, and then going to go to South Bend on Wednesday of next week to take them on again for wrapping up the regular season here at Castle against Syracuse on Black Friday. Block lands out of play, point Hokies.
So Virginia Tech for now staying with a 5-1 system. So Victoria Walgren currently setting from the front row. Gets Bell Patrick one-on-one here. Uses the block. Uses Fiona Schrader right there. It's a good swing. Wow. Now we're gonna have Bell Patrick in the net though. Schrader goes out of bounds down the line. It's a really violent swing, Bailey. And Bell Patrick gets a little outside of herself in nets.
Well, Bell Patrick seems a bit confused as now Hattie Monson is ready to serve. Fiona Schrader, pretty interesting player, primary setter, also leads the team in kills.
Virginia Tech going with the 6-2 here. Sarah Malinowski and Erica Dulesky into the match.
Jordan Hallman also joining. Lofted over the block. Hokies weren't ready.
That's 3 off-speed kills already here, Bailey. And we see Bell Patrick, that's got to be either Patrick or Malinowski, your right front and left front. If you're not blocking that quick attack in the middle, you have to drop off and look for that tip. Your back row defenders have to be looking for the hard hit ball. You can give them some help. You have to be doing something. Either block or defend. You can't do nothing in that spot.
Hokies get a gift there from Hattie Monson. So here's Bell Patrick, closing in at the end of her freshman year. Here's Fiona Schrader, found the corner. Sant jogs off, Schrader ready to serve. Senior from Iowa. And a triple-double in the last game, 11 kills, 24 digs, 27 assists in the win against Duke, snapping a losing skid for Notre Dame.
Just kind of a mishit there from Leandra Manuel-Duran.
Timeout called by Marcy Byers brings us to our first break here in set 1. Notre Dame enjoying a 13-6 lead.
Welcome to Virginia Tech.
We're at the forefront of interdisciplinary research,
Tackling the world's most pressing issues.
groundbreaking advances in wireless,
Artificial intelligence and quantum. Cutting-edge knowledge in cybersecurity.
Promising discoveries in health sciences.
And arts and humanities.
We're not just breaking boundaries.
We're shattering them. We are Virginia Tech. Join us. Together, we'll shape the future.
Legends say these relics hold a great force, one that could change the course of history. You're messing with powers beyond your control.
Don't you want to know what this is all about?
You're damn right I
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description.
We have Braden Shank. Braden?
Thank you, Bailey. Notre Dame head coach Selena Rockwell. She already has a long list of accolades to her name. An All-American setter, a United States national team captain, and a national champion assistant coach. But on top of all this pedigree, Coach Rockwell has started pursuing a career in another passion of hers, and that in sports broadcasting. In February of 2018, Coach Rockwell left Penn State after 4 years as a player and another 7 as an assistant coach. It was at this time that she began her broadcasting career in the realm of college and international volleyball. She had the opportunity to be a part of ESPN's broadcast team for 3 women's volleyball national championship matches. Now, during the 2022 offseason, she decided to get back into coaching and took the vacancy at Notre Dame. The one downside to the new job in South Bend was that she had to take a step away from broadcasting. That was until she got the call from NBC this past summer to join Paul Sunderland and Kevin Barnett as the primary booth for the men's and women's indoor volleyball competition at the 2024 Summer Olympics. Now, while Coach didn't get the chance to travel to Paris for the games, the trio called them out of NBC studios in Stamford, Connecticut. Coach Rockwell mentioned that despite calling the matches from over 3,500 miles away, that special feeling of calling a gold medal match remained the same. Bailey, Jake, back to you.
Great stuff, Braden. Really exciting, and even if you get to do that remotely, that has got to be really special for Coach Rockwell. Now her team leading here 14-6 over the Hokies.
Oh, Selima is by far my favorite analyst for volleyball broadcasting. She's very good.
You know, I think Selima does a great job, but I think mine really is Jake Lawrence.
NBC did not call me for the Olympics this summer. I think maybe I was next on the list.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Swing from Avery Ross. Yildiz back there for the dig.
And Sunderland's not the easiest guy to work with, I imagine, because he is a gold medal winning player himself.
There's a lot of knowledge there.
So it's like if you're going to be the analyst with him, you got to bring it.
I think I got a gold medal in the V-sit in my 2004 field day, so don't have to worry about that here. 15-7, Hokies getting one back after the timeout. And Sierra Cates jumping in as the libero.
Can use 2 liberos in the same set this year with the rule change. A lot of teams are doing exactly like this, having one of them as a serving substitution, essentially.
Now, what do you think that has really done to change the strategy of a volleyball game?
Not a lot. There are some teams that have a libero who will be an excellent receiver and one who will be an excellent defender, and so they might go back and forth every time, whether they're serving or receiving. There aren't a whole lot of squads using it like that. Stanford uses their second libero as a serving sub, exactly what Virginia Tech just did right here. I think that's the most practical use of a second libero, using as serving subs and not having to expend one of your 15 substitutions per set. But I think that there will be some coaches out there who are innovating. I haven't seen anything really compelling yet, but I'm sure someone out there is doing something cool.
Smiles from Selima Rockwell. Here's Walgren. Had an interesting role for Virginia Tech this year as a setter. It's been on the outside as well.
Played 6 matches, I believe, with Victoria Walgren hitting in the front row in the 6-2. Exactly what Fiona Schrader does all year for Notre Dame. That is an aggressive set.
Notre Dame not ready for that as Palazzolo pounds it into the net. Another gift for the Hokies.
I'd like to see Schrader get square there. It's one thing, there are some setters where you don't always have to get face where you're trying to set, and they can make that set. I'd like to see her get a little more square. It's more accuracy to the outside.
Kept alive. There's a set to Palazzolo through the block.
She's having a heck of a year, Fiona Schrader. Leads the team in kills as a left-handed right side and setting, so she's not getting kills out of the back row.
Palazzolo quickly blocked, swing in the air, and nothing, despite the effort from Kaylee Dockery. So Fiona Schrader putting together one heck of a season for Notre Dame. We mentioned the triple-double she had in the last matchup. She's had a few of those this year. 13 to be exact, triple-doubles. She was ACC Center of the Week in the middle of September as well. Duran. Seems a bit odd to not see her in that libero shirt. Way too hard beyond the back boundary.
Trying to force that to Mallory Bowl in the middle of that 31. I like the choice. Timing's not quite right. Bowl's kind of on her way down. And if you're Mallory Bowl and you know that it's not perfect, you can't take a full swing there. You know, don't make a hitting error. You know, keep playing. Maybe we get a block, maybe get a dig. That's should have been two, should have been double contact on Palazzolo.
We play on. No, Patrick, what a dig, Monson. Once again, Monson's there. That'll go into the stands. Virginia Tech rallying a bit here. And a timeout called by Salima Rockwell to try to stifle this.
That's a good touch there from Munson, but Patrick just brings too much heat cross court. The first dig was really nice from Hattie Munson. Couldn't keep it on Notre Dame's side of the net, but in the end, the job is to keep the ball off the floor. And, you know, always live to fight another day if you can prevent the kill.
So Hokies right now led by Belle Patrick, who rejoins her team on the bench. She's got 3 kills, 2 kills apiece for Haley Pierce and Leandra Mangwell Duran. On the other side, 4 kills for Sydney Palazzolo. What is Virginia Tech doing right here, Jake, to get back into this one?
I think Notre Dame went and made 2 hitting errors. That'll do it on pretty good passes. But those are free points. You have to take those free points when they're willing to give it. Defending middle is tough. The serving for Virginia Tech in the last 5 to 8 points has been better, has not allowed Notre Dame to get really perfect passes and be totally in system. Makes for a tougher connection.
So 17-13. Remember, this is a game Virginia Tech won last year. Hokies have only won 1 ACC matchup, and it was against Clemson earlier on in the season. Right now, Virginia Tech has lost 10 in a row. Had a couple of close matches, had one against Virginia and lost that in 5 sets. So trying to have a close matchup here today against Notre Dame. Oh, Patrick trying to push the energy for the Hokies.
Let's see. I think Mangwell Duran here, especially with a libero and a defensive specialist out there. This ball's going to Palazzolo. She's front row. She's right here on your screen. Has to go pass to attack. Yep, she gets the ball. Missed location.
Palazzolo's blocked.
So that serve, they're trying to serve that 5-6 seam between, right, is this area right here is where they want that ball to go to get Palazzolo to pass it. She doesn't. Pearson Robinson come up with a block anyway.
Palazzolo wasn't ready for it. Easy block. Hokies only down 2.
Again, hitting air here. Watch Mangwell Duran. She's a very accurate server. To keep serving that seam in between these 2 players. Right there. That's your seam.
Looking for the slide and another error. Notre Dame unorganized in their attack here, and all of a sudden it is a 1-point game.
Change things up here. So Sant's going to come in to set. They're going to switch to rotation 6 now, 2-hitter phase. They're taking an attacker off the floor, just trying to change the formation. Watch Schrader here out of the back rows, an attacker on the D ball, and a service error.
Virginia Tech trailed by as much as 8, got it all the way down to 1.
It's a good run. It's a good run. You want that. You know, you brought your team back into the match, but now Notre Dame's out. You know, trying to find an answer. You got to make them solve the problem at least once before you miss your serve.
Go to Schrader, off balanced. Set for Robinson, no one's there. Point Hokies.
Robinson has been effective this year in serve receive. They have not done a great job of getting her the ball in transition after dig. We're going to miss serve here from Robinson. They haven't, Virginia Tech needs to set her more in transition just like they did. Doesn't have to be a huge swing, but that tip creates chaos, find the floor in some ugly ways sometimes.
Palazzolo ready to serve. She's leading the way for Notre Dame. And another service error.
Got underneath that a little bit. Her first time at the service line, really got on top of it, drove it down into the court. Well, if you hit it hard, you have to get on top of it. Otherwise, it sails just like it did. She missed that one by about 15 feet.
Alyssa Manitsis comes on now, the sophomore from San Antonio, Texas for Notre Dame.
Yeah, good chance to get Palazzolo out of the match. Take a breather. Get your mind reset a little bit, and by the time she ideally comes back into the match in the front row, it's going to be the time to close out the set.
Avery Ross has been a spark plug for Notre Dame off of the bench. Hokies have tied it up, 19-19. Virginia Tech has trailed this entire first set and have stormed all the way back.
And that's got to be Ross. She recognizes it. She drops off once she sees the back row attack. She's right there. She gets a hand on it. That's what you want. You want hitters to tip. That ball's out of bounds. It's going to be a kill there for Ross.
So a kill for Avery Ross. Just out of bounds. Wasn't her even best swing there. And now Notre Dame takes a 2019 lead.
Ross, as an undersized outside hitter, she has to play really good defense. She has to control the ball.
It'll be an ace, a perfectly timed one for Notre Dame.
It's a tough rotation again. It's rotation one. Everyone's stacked on the left side of the court here for Virginia Tech.
Belpatrick, the dig. No one's there. Big swing for the freshman.
Belpatrick gets double blocked here. Kind of a medium pass, blocks air. She just comes hard inside of it. A little bit too much heat for Munson.
Going to Schrader over the block and drops. Seems like we've seen a good amount of kills like that for Notre Dame where there weren't big swings. It was just the little pops over the block.
Both teams. I think that's at least 6 or 7 off-speed kills in this match so far. To me, coming as a coach, you got to dial in more on defense. I mean, that's what you want. You want teams tipping.
Another ace that just trickles over the tape. Timeout called by Marcy Byers, and it's 23-20. Notre Dame letting Virginia Tech climb back into this one, but now jumping ahead after a couple of big serves. Another look at this ace.
This one's just unlucky. I mean, it's unfortunate for Virginia Tech that it comes at 22-20. But that serve hitting the tape, dribbling over, and really just inside of 5 feet. Like within 5 feet of the net, no serve receive is set up to handle that. Your hope is that it kind of balances out over the course of the year. Tape, yeah, and you can see Malinowski. You can see Malinowski's like trying to clear out to get to the right side to go attack. So she's got her back to the play. That's never her ball. You're hoping it's Patrick. Best thing you can do in that spot is see it's going to hit the tape, pursue it as hard as you can. Hopefully you can pop it up. Just hope that it evens out over the course of the year,
Tough break for Virginia Tech right there. Now down 3. Notre Dame just 2 away from sneaking out of set 1.
I like this rotation here for Virginia Tech. I think they're in a good spot. This is rotation 2. So it's Jordan Hallman, Sarah Malinowski, and then Leandra Manuel Durand. I'd love to see them run Hallman away from the center out towards the left side, so run like a 31. You know, quick set away from the setter, the offensive left side of the court, and kind of overload that defensive right side. So really get the action here, and then bring a set on the right side to Malinowski on the right there.
Gonna go with here. Serve right at Patrick. Big block. Here comes a set point for Notre Dame.
The problem with that is that pass is a little bit in front of the setter, so it's towards the offensive left side of the court. That stacks 2 blockers in about 8 feet of lateral space. You got to reverse flow there and go back to Malinowski. You got her one-on-one.
Goes out of play. Point Notre Dame. And the Fighting Irish win set 1, 25-20. Valiant.
If you're a small outside, you've got to dig balls. You've got to receive serve. That's an area where you have to make a contribution if you're, well, Ross is having a great start offensively, but you're not expected to carry it as an L2. You know, can you do the other things well as also?
Got an ace to start out set 2. Sant, the graduate student from Western Springs, Illinois, powers it into the net that time to even it up. Notre Dame trying to win 2 matches in a row, coming off of a win against Duke. Hokies trying to snap a 10-game skid. Ace fell to the floor from Mangel Duran.
I mean, that's in line with Virginia Tech's serving strategy in this rotation last set as well. This is rotation 1. It's rotation 1. Really trying to attack that zone 5, zone 6 for Notre Dame. So seeing the difference between how Notre Dame approaches rotation 1 with Schrader left front, they don't have her hit outside. They run her all the way across the formation to hit right side there. Whereas Virginia Tech with Sarah Malinowski is going to hit like a 1-ball or a 2-ball in the middle instead.
Palazzolo started out her college career at High Point, was a former Big South Player of the Year, 2nd year here at Notre Dame. All ACC 2nd team last season. There's a block for Notre Dame, jumping up 4-2. There's Avery Ross again.
You know, I talk about Ross needs to pass and defend, and she's out here getting kills, and a solo block right there, and an undersized left.
Woo. It's been all Notre Dame here to start out in set 2. Fiona Schrader.
Tough passer from Egiotas. Schrader cleans it up pretty quickly there. Walgren can't jump the block. She's back row, so Schrader's just got an open net.
Oh, Patrick dug out by Palazzolo. Swats it to the right. Avery Ross blocked, out of play.
Ross having herself a match so far, Bailey.
Avery Ross, last year in freshman season, only played in 9 sets overall. She's been coming off of the bench. Only had 44 total kills coming into this matchup. Once again, another gift to Notre Dame.
So you can see Palazzolo is really trying to work Bell Patrick, and now Sierra Cates here in the Libero jersey, trying to work this area of the court. And we miss our serve. You got Virginia Tech on the ropes there, struggling to get out of that rotation, and you let them off the hook with a serve in the net. Yeah, you're going to miss serves at this level. It happens. You have to serve tough, so your errors are going to happen. But that soft miss serve in the middle of the net, it'll drive a coach crazy.
Here's the freshman Ella Guilfoy, see what she can do here. Jordan Hallman got a paw on it.
Yeah, I like this. I like this way to get Bowl back in the match here. She only had 2 swings before that. They were both those hitting airs long on kind of medium passes on 31s, away from the setter. This time you run on a back one right behind the setter, get her one-on-one. Get her a good set. She gets a kill off the block. Got to feed your middles. It's like having a Right there again with Hallman on the 31. It's like basketball. You've got if you want the big man to run the floor, you've got to make sure the big man gets the layup.
That was one of the better plays Virginia Tech has ran all night.
Totally. I mean, Hallman's effective when they're in system. She's a particularly effective attacker in serve receive. Get a good pass. Hallman's quick. She moves the ball around well. Middle's hit a high percentage because middle attack is hard to defend.
Overpass, Notre Dame trying to correct. Walgren for Bell Patrick. Kill Hokies.
So you can see what happens here. You're able to run Hallman. Blocker's got to stay on Hallman in the middle. That leaves Bell Patrick one-on-one on the outside because you've established that you're going to set your middles.
5 kills for the freshman. Another overpass, make it 6. Bell Patrick.
Just like the swing from Schrader a few minutes ago on the overpass. Sant is back row here. Sant can't jump. She's got to stay down on the floor. If she jumps and touches this back row block. So Patrick just has free reign there at the net.
That landed in. What an ace for Haley Pierce.
And Salima Rockwell was right on that on the bench. Not going to get a challenge. I think that ball is pretty clearly in. Really driven serve there from Haley Pierce.
See what the sophomore can do here. That time too far.
Same way when Palazzolo missed a very similar type of serve. Last set, you get underneath it a little bit or behind it rather than on top of it. That's when it sails.
Sarah Malinowski jogs in for the Hokies. Here's Fiona Schrader.
It's one of the things I'm surprised we don't see more women's players incorporating the hybrid jump serve, where it's not a full high toss jump top serve. It's you toss it like a jump float with 2 hands, a little more control, but you put a little bit of top spin on it so you can hit it hard and keep it in the court.
Going for Bell Patrick, having herself a night.
Patrick's moving it around really well. It's her second swing in a row down the line. Kind of a 1.5 block. Grace Langer just doesn't quite get all the way out to her. It's a good swing. I think that's a solid block. It's just a better swing from Bell Patrick.
Avery Ross answers with a big swing.
Sarah Malinowski for Virginia Tech, too wide on that block setup. Hallman doesn't quite get there to close. Leaves Ross that opening in the seam. You can't defend all 900 square feet. It's hard to defend that middle of the court. You need your block to take that space away.
Off of the block. 2 hands over the net, Palazzolo. Bell Patrick lands in play. Bell Patrick dominating the second set and really single-handedly keeping Virginia Tech in this. Are we going to get a challenge,
Immediate. Salima Rockwell, her shirt matches the color of the challenge card tonight. They're both green, on theme.
Original
with the Fighting
decision
Irish.
on the previous play was ball in. Notre Dame's challenging, the ball was out.
Oh, get a look at this one. Like Jake said, there was no hesitation.
No. You get 2 challenges per match. If you win your challenge, you get to keep it. It's a pretty good look. That ball's out.
This will be a tough one. There we
Well,
go.
okay, so when you look at a system like Bolt 6 or a system like Hawkeye, which they use in the Olympics, use it in the SEC.
The original decision was ball in. That call will be reversed. The ball is out. Notre Dame retains their challenge.
I'm going to stop talking.
Oh, you heard it there.
I got it right.
Suzanne Dodd able to deliver that.
See, I like that. See, I am generally not a fan of replay review in really any sport, but if we're going to have it nice and fast like that,
yeah,
all right, that's cool.
Why not?
It took probably less than 30 seconds, which is some of these times, man, some of these matches go 5 sets. We play 3-hour matches now, which is wild.
You've seen that across all sports, and if you're any Virginia Tech fan who thinks about a review, you kind of shudder.
Why? Has there been a bad history this year of?
Yeah, to let you Google it. 11-8, Notre Dame leads now after the reversal. The left-hand Palazzolo. Dropping in, point Hokies.
Quick set there to Sarah Malinowski. Has kind of a converted middle, right side. She's done a little bit of both in her career up through club and college. You know, I think she's a little more comfortable on those faster sets on the right side. It's when you start those out-of-system spots where the set's really high, that can be a struggle for some right sides. Keeping her nice and quick, I think, is the plan.
Off of the arm of Daleski. The ball looked like it was almost going out, Jake.
I think that ball's pretty well out. You know, one of the things, you want to be consistent with your defensive drops. You play a base position in the back row, this is where you start, and depending where the set goes, you move to a kind of a release position. You want to be consistent there so you know where the sideline is. She might have seen a touch or something like that too.
Point Hokies. Stay it close here in set two. Sorry, Jake.
No, so the other thing about floor defense is you want to be stopped at the point of contact when the attacker's about ready to make contact with the ball. You want to be stopped, so you're not leaning one way or the other. You know, you want to make your read, get to a good position, so you can go make a play on the ball wherever it is. It's oftentimes you see players miss digs because they're still moving at the point of at the moment of contact.
Another ace for Virginia Tech. Victoria Walgren ready to serve again. The Canadian. Seen 7 so far in this matchup already. Pass for Palazzolo. Tight at the net.
Yep.
Notre Dame's in the net.
And we're going to back row attack here
Back row attack
on Schrader. That ball looked pretty well in the plane of the net. It broken the vertical plane of the net. And so at that point, once a Virginia Tech player makes contact with it, and Schrader does as well, you're going to get either a back row block or a back row attack, depending on who touched it first.
Oh, that dropped in. All kinds of miscommunication there for Notre Dame, and the Hokies take the lead because of it. Well, Jordan Hallman getting into it. Walgren for Robinson, point Hokies.
Talked about it a little bit earlier, Robinson has been set a lot in serve receive. This is her in transition. You know, free ball, she's up on time, one-on-one. That's a situation where she should be a favorite for a kill.
Salima Rockwell calls a timeout. Virginia Tech trying to tie this up. 14-12 in set two.
A new coach, and a game to get to, and rear cross traffic braking, and peace of mind. The all-new 2025 Equinox and Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description.
Play the new game? We got this. We got this. There we go. There we go. Thank you.
Welcome back inside Castle Coliseum. Virginia Tech holding the lead over Notre Dame in set number 2. And the Hokies' 2024 season is slowly dwindling away. Only a week left in the regular season, and Tech is getting ready to celebrate senior weekend, which means all eyes will be on graduate student Leandra Mangual Duran. The outside hitter came into Tech last season as a as a transfer from Missouri. And just in her first year with Virginia Tech, she made an immediate impact, tallying 200-plus kills for the Hokies, which was second most on the team. Her experience and what she brought to Virginia Tech was something that Coach Marcy Byers remarked as just being a true leader, both on and off the court. Now, as she's getting ready to play in her final week of her 6-year college volleyball career. It's going to be sad to see it come to an end, but it's definitely been a great career for the Missouri and Virginia Tech player in Leandra Manuel-Duran. Bailey, Jake, back to you.
Thanks, Braden. Hokies enjoying the play of Leandra so far tonight. Not wearing the libero shirt, one of the main stories, but she's got 4 kills on 13 total attacks for Virginia Tech, and the Hokies now enjoying a 15-12 lead in set 2.
I think a lot of her move to libero this year full-time was trying to solidify that position rather than finding another solution at outside. She makes it natural, again, L2, L1. L1 tends to be an attacker who spends 2 rotations with the front row setters. They need to be able to get more kills on their own. They're more of the offensive outside. L2 tends to be traditionally more of a ball control player. Manuel-Duran fits that mold really well, but I think the Tech has needed help at that libero spot, looking for someone else to emerge.
Now ready to serve, 16-13. Hokies have not won a set against an ACC opponent at home. Now only 9 away from doing that. Cates, now Patrick. Oh, off on the communication there between Robinson and Walgren. Looked like Walgren was ready to pass that.
That says a middle, get out of the way. Like, get out of the way. That's when sometimes you see the setter just kind of body check their middle out of the way to go play the ball.
Out of play. That is now 6 service errors for Notre Dame. Let's get Virginia Tech in this. Guilfoy ready to serve.
No hitting errors this set for Notre Dame. Both teams, big improvement offensively in set 2. 500 for Notre Dame, 389 for Virginia Tech just in set 2.
Avery Ross. Patrick again. Goes beyond the line, point Notre Dame.
I think it's good choice from Bell Patrick. Just not the best execution. I think that line shot is there. That kind of cross body swing is there, trying to attack. Look at all that empty space on the court right there. You just got to execute it. And then the other piece, and we talked about this with Salima Rockwell this week, is you start hitting line from the left side or cross court from the right, you start attacking that zone 1, that right back area on the court. Both teams are running a 6-2. So both teams always have a back row setter and right back. If you hit the ball to this area, the setter has to dig the ball, and now you're automatically out of system. And so how well do you set? How well does your libero set? How well does a non-setter set? Ouch. Patrick took a hard fall there.
It's a confirmation from her teammates, Sierra Cates, if she's okay. A begrudging yes.
She's tough as nails. I'm not surprised she's staying in. Looked like she just landed funny, or maybe landed on someone's foot coming down from the block.
As for Hallman, Monson falls back to get it. Ross ricochets off of Manuel-Duran, and Cates. Notre Dame leads.
Again, it's tough for Pierce. I mean, Pierce hasn't played that much. Oh, here's Bell Patrick. Just steps on Schrader's foot as she's transitioning off the net. I'll tell you what, Bailey, like, when you're a coach, there's plenty of things that keep you up at night. Not as an assistant coach. Assistant coaches sleep great. Head coaches, I mean, there's a lot of stuff keeps you up at night, but just like a turned ankle at the net, like on the center line, it can change your entire season.
Assistant coaches sleep okay, though.
They really do. They might stay up late because there's a lot of work to be done, but once it's bedtime, sleep like a baby.
Blocked by Hallman. Hokies take the lead right back.
Baby, there were times when I was a head coach that I had to like be on the other side of the gym on game day, like warm-ups and things like that, because I was so wound up that I was like, I can't be around the team. I'm going to freak them out.
But now that you're out of the game, well, not really out of the game because you still get to be an analyst here, but not a coach. How well do you sleep now?
Oh, wonderful.
Okay.
Which is fantastic. That's a lot. It makes you think of this time of year. You're coming into the holidays, that kind of stuff, and it is a grind for the players. You know, you've been going since June. You know, you've been back for summer school, camp season, preseason. You play 30 matches. It's just it's a grind.
Now coming down to the final 4 games. Notre Dame down 1. Fiona Schrader, another kill.
Yeah, Schrader just ripping cross court against Pierce. Again, Pierce hasn't played a lot of right back this year. You know, you're asking her to dig a ball. You want to keep her out there because she's a good server for that one rotation. Now Erica Dulesky's in on the double switch for the 6'2", Malinowski and Dulesky coming in. But Pierce hasn't spent a lot of time in matches this year digging right back.
Dulesky. Patrick's blocked. Tied up 20-20.
And we're getting a timeout here from Marcy Byers.
So Virginia Tech wants to talk about this. Notre Dame won the first set 25-20. Looks like it might be a bit closer. But once again, coming down to the final moments of the set. Notre Dame pretty much led the entirety of the way in set 1. Set 2's been a little bit more back and forth.
That's a good block there. Anna Bjork and Grace Longer. It's a tough rotation again for Virginia Tech. It's rotation 1, which means the setter is in right back, which means your right side is on the left side of the court. They have to start there. So Sarah Malinowski does not really hit left side attack, so they have to find somewhere for her to go. Notre Dame's solution is they run Fiona Schrader all the way across the court. We've seen Virginia Tech do that in that spot this year, but they typically will go Robinson on a slide. You know, look, I think we're going to take a look at it right here. Yep. So what we typically do is you're going to run Hallman out here on the slide, Malinowski up the middle on a 1-ball, and then your outside Patrick on the left. Here's the thing, that creates a whole bunch of traffic right in this area of the court. You need to pass really, really, really well in order to execute in that rotation, because if you don't receive well, Hallman's not really an option on the slide. She barely ever hits the slide. You can't set Malinowski in the middle on a quick or anything like that because the pass isn't any good. So it becomes Bell-Patrick and only Bell-Patrick. Lets those blockers really dial in on her.
Closing moments is set 2. Notre Dame trying to jump up to a 2-0 lead, but can Virginia Tech win its first set at home against an ACC opponent? Now they take the lead.
And so we didn't see it because Notre Dame missed their serve, but they changed the play set that time. Virginia Tech did. They ran started running Malinowski all the way across the court to hit right side, more of a traditional kind of 4-1-5 spread offense.
8 service errors for Notre Dame. That's slammed right down.
Anna Bjork just making stuff happen in the middle.
Freshman's been leading the way in blocks for Salima Rockwell's team. Tied up now. Dulesky. Angled a ran, stuffed it down in the middle. No one there for the Fighting Irish. Lead tilts back the way of the Hokies.
How did that get through the block? That looked like it went right through Longer and Bjork here. Let's see if this goes right through the hole. Oh, yeah. Huge hole right there. It's a tricky little sneaky play there for Manuel Duran.
Palazzolo. Point Fighting Irish. So tied again.
Line judges had it out. Umpire, the down referee, the R2, had a touch off the block. He looked off the block live.
No challenge. Stuffed at the net. Notre Dame recovers. Palazzolo. drops it in. Notre Dame takes the lead.
That was kind of an awkward play at the net there from Mallory Bowl, but it's not the worst result. She got blocked, sort of, played it into the block, and they were able to recycle. Able to recycle, bump set from Fiona Schrader. Palazzolo with the off-speed kill off the block.
Bell Patrick trying to tie it up. Bjork, I think that Langer actually. Diving play.
Oh, great spot. Oh.
Found the corner, set point coming up for the Fighting Irish.
Love that tip. Mallory Bowl. Oh, we'll get a great look. A big dig from Ross. Bowl in transition, just pushing it to the corner. You don't see that shot a ton from Middleton. Look at the empty space on the court right there. Look, you hope you can run it down, but Cates is packed in looking for a short tip. When you kind of reach up in the air and you open your hand and everyone sees tip, tip, tip. So your natural inclination as a defender is to come to the middle of the court because that's where most tips go. They go short over the block into the donut, in the middle of the court. But that time, Bowl pulls the fakie there and just pushes it to the corner.
Big play for the freshmen. 3 freshman middle blockers for Notre Dame. Now up 24-22. Looked like Salima Rockwell really was fired up about that play from her young players. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech calling a timeout here in set 2. Hokies led multiple points throughout this set. Notre Dame has stifled that and now have set point trying to go up 2-0.
Saw Craig Dyer there working with the Notre Dame squad during the timeout. Craig has been a part of a lot of really good programs. Penn State, men. Then to Pitt right at the beginning of the Dan Fisher era as Pitt took off to become #1 team in the country. He was there for that. Went to Creighton. Creighton's a top 10 program right now. Now he's trying to bring that special sauce to Notre Dame as well.
Notre Dame trying to close out the year on a great note, a year that has been, they've struggled with injuries. Now 4 games left, 2 against Virginia Tech. So looking for set point. Palazzolo blocked, recovers.
Now Ross is playing some defense. 2 big digs the last 2 points.
Naleski for Bell Patrick. Hokies staying alive, remain set point for Notre Dame, but Virginia Tech only down 1. Oh, Patrick now with 8 kills.
I said Avery Ross. My mistake. That's number 5, Kaylee Dockery there with those 2 big digs, the last 2 points.
And second on the teams in digs behind Monson. Had 9 digs against Duke. Might need a big one here. Down to the final moments of the second set, 24-23. There's it lofted over. Dockery made the play. Haley Pierce blocked. Angle to Ran. Dig from Monson. Schrader blocked. Palazzolo gets through the block. It's popped back.
So Virginia Tech wants 4 contacts in that swing. And we're going to get a lift with Jasmine Robinson. So we may very well see a challenge here. I mean, that's usually when the ball comes to you.
A couple of close sets won by Notre Dame. 25-20, and then that one was 25-23. Cindy Palazzolo trying to get it started on another bright note for Notre Dame. Leandra Mangual-Duran has other plans. Here's Palazzolo.
You can see with Palazzolo, those are 2 out-of-system swings, and she just plays garbage man. Ball's up, pancake, yep, pancake. Palazzolo just kind of plays garbage man and hits the ball on the court and tries to force Virginia Tech out of system.
There's a block, and the rally ends the way of Notre Dame. Another look at this defensive effort.
Elisand.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one, Bailey. But nobody in orange and white really complained about it.
What a swing, Mangual-Duran. One of the hardest hit balls tonight to tie it up.
Oh, good pass. Allows Jasmine Robinson to be a credible threat in the middle. Opens up a seam. Because Bowl is a little late closing. She has to be. She has to respect that middle attack. opens it up for Manuel Duran.
Out of play. That was bold.
I will say, Mallory Bold, I mean, she's not going to be happy with it, but she's very terminal today. She's got two kills and 3 errors on 6 swings, so she's ending rallies. I think that she's working hard. They just got to put her in some better spots.
Fiona Schrader gets the kill. What do you mean by terminal?
When she's swinging, the point is ending, whether it's because she's getting a kill or a hitting error.
Makes sense.
And I think that she's really active out there. It's just those 2 right at the beginning, those 2 31s at the beginning of the match. She just sailed long. They were just kind of tough spots.
Haley Pierce. Pierce, a name we haven't really called on much tonight. That's her 5th kill.
Moving over to the right side tonight in this 6-2. So it gives you a little bit more blocking on the right with her and Malinowski. Splitting time over there. One of them is always in the front row. Hello, Guilfoy in to set. Oh, I'm sorry, to serve, excuse me.
Fiona Schrader with the left hand. Point Hokies, 4-2.
Schrader's interesting because you watch her, and from a technical perspective, both setting and attacking, probably not quite how you teach it. It's not totally traditional, but then you watch and see what's happening to the ball, the efficiency, the 250-some kills this year, and it works. And so you get a player like that, and you say, okay, you know, we're going to do it your way because your way's pretty good as long as it fits into our system.
Senior eyeing the serve again. Well, for Schrader tonight, 7 kills and 11 assists, 10 digs. So potentially on her way to another triple-double.
Yeah. 31 here to Hallman. Doesn't really connect. It's a little bit of a paintbrush. Gets the ball into the court. Something good happens because she's responsible with that swing. Doesn't sail it out of bounds. Doesn't bury it in the net.
Blocked, but out of play. Late call there.
Somebody in the net as well. What? Okay, yes. All right. Looks like Jordan Hallman was in the net there for Virginia Tech on that swing. A little bit of a change here for the Hokies. Instead of Sarah Malinowski on the right, we're going to get Aisha Carrick. Number 20, she's left-handed.
Why the change there?
I think looking for some different kind of production. I mean, Sarah Malinowski really, she's only taken 4 swings. They haven't been able to set her. Carrick can do some different things. Carrick can hit on the left side a little bit, a little more out of system attacker. It's just a top move from Longer. Shutting down Belpatrick.
A kill for the Hokies.
I like that play set with Manuel Duran, able to run her on the pipe, really quick pipe, almost a bick right up the middle. You get a good pass. So each blocker is going to have one hitter to focus on, and there's not a 4th blocker to deal with the pipe hitter coming up out of the back row.
Drops out of play, an ace for the Hokies in Belpatrick, who very famously does not waste any time. She'll be ready to serve this very quickly.
So you've got to keep working Palazzolo there. Yep, good serve. Right on target.
Back to Palazzolo. Popped up by Manuel Duran. Sierra Cates loops the ball over the net. A play. So just to bring you to where we are here, first set, Virginia Tech came back down 8. Took the lead in set 1, but the Fighting Irish ended up winning 25-20. Led at multiple times in set 2, but the Irish took a close one, 25-23. Now we're here, set number 3, Hokies and Fighting Irish. Skates into the air. Ooh, collision between Carrick and Bell Patrick. Patrick slow to get up and now back out there.
Only one blocker and no middle back defender. Palazzolo hits it right at Dulesky.
Palazzolo. There's Patrick. Dulesky from Mangle Duran.
Great rally here, Bailey.
Schrader into the middle for Bowl. Point, Fighting Irish.
Yeah, it looks like Carrick and Patrick just hit knees. Or maybe Patrick took Carrick's knee right to her shin or her leg. They avoided the big collision, but that looked like it hurt.
Looks like we're going to have a challenge here. Let's see what it's for.
Original decision was point to Notre Dame. Virginia Tech is challenging. There is a net fault.
All right. Trying to get a confirmation here. So that one was in the middle of the play. Our one, Rob Boggs, confirming that with Jake Lawrence.
It's going to be tough to find. There's a long rally. Went back and forth a bunch. I think we're just going to take a look at the whole rally, and we'll see if we can pinpoint what might be a net fault.
Take a look.
This is good defense, I think, from both teams. I love Hallman on the back one right there. Good out-of-system set. Palazzolo's just trying to keep it high and in the court. There's the collision. Ouch. And look, there's no blocker, no right side blocker, no middle back defender. Palazzolo just biffs it right at Erica Dulesky and right back. Really missed one there. But that could be a net fault.
The call is confirmed. Point to Notre Dame. Virginia Tech loses their challenge.
Yes.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to really talk about which time throughout that rally she meant.
I'm not. You're putting a lot of faith in your officials to be able to use the replay equipment to suss out exactly when that might have happened. That's tough. But also significantly, that is a second failed challenge for Virginia Tech. So Marcy Byers is out of challenges for the rest of the match unless this goes to 5 when you get an extra challenge in the 5th set.
So 2 lost challenges for Virginia Tech. Notre Dame challenged and won earlier.
Oh, Docker with a big dig.
Able to ran another dig.
Docker just says no thank you.
Cates. Carrick now.
That was her worst dig. That was the easiest hit.
Lesky. Off of the block, point Hokies. The rally ends for Virginia Tech to take the lead.
See the injured Manuel Duran one-on-one against Longer. Works the inside off the block. Good tool swing.
Service error.
I like what Selima Rockwell said at the end of set 1 about Ella Sant, number 44, coming into set. She's like, things are going to be okay when she's on the court. She calms us down. Everything's going to be all right when she's in there. Like that's a really big compliment, I think, for a college player, for your coach to say that about you.
Dug in the back by Patrick. Here's Sant again. Has the dump.
Recycle there from Virginia Tech.
Off of the tape. No touch from Notre Dame. And a point for the Fighting Irish. Doesn't look like there's an argument from Virginia Tech, but it won't matter. There's no challenge. Now Sant transferred from St. Mary's, put together one heck of a career in collegiate volleyball.
The weather might be better in Moraga, California than in South Bend. I'm just going to say it.
The folks from Notre Dame that traveled up today were talking about how cold it is here in Blacksburg today. They're like, well, this is like this most of the time in South Bend. Victoria Walgren ready to serve in another tight matchup, 9-9. Into the net. Avery Ross jogging in for Notre Dame now. Off it over the block.
Really tight set there.
Schrader off of Walgren. And we'll watch it bounce out of play.
It's tough. Digging right side to get right back against a right side attacker is hard because you want to face the hitter. But if you face the hitter, you tend to send that ball right back where it came from, out of bounds. You got to try and redirect it to the middle of your own side of the net, outside of the court.
Haley Pierce.
That's an interesting little play set for Virginia Tech. Running Robinson on a slide, then Pierce kind of on a short two ball in the middle. We haven't seen that out of the Hokies yet so far.
Avery Ross. Walgren now finds Pierce. Going for Schrader. No answer from Virginia Tech as Mangle Duran cranks that into the sideline. So big weekend for the Hokies, taking on Notre Dame and then welcoming a top 5 team into Blacksburg and Louisville. It'll be on Sunday. And a league that Marcy Byers told us, and she says that the ACC is the best conference in the country. Had to take on some of that top talent last week in Stanford, Jake.
It's been a big step up the last, I say, 5 years for the ACC to see. Everyone knows Pitt and Louisville. Georgia Tech has maintained a really high level after losing some monster players in Mariana Brambila and Julia Bergman. Julia Bergman, who represented Brazil this year in the Olympics. But adding in Stanford and Cal this year has been just shot in the arm for the ACC. SMU. Cal is having a down year. SMU's having a really strong year with a bunch of transfers. Stanford is Stanford. I think you have 3 teams in the ACC this year, Bailey, who are good enough to win it all. I mean, no question. I think Pitt and Nebraska are a little step above everybody else, but Stanford and Louisville have top-end talent, elite coaching. Wouldn't be surprised to see all 3 of them in for the Final Four in Louisville this winter.
And take a look at that. The RPI in the top 50. Pitt, who came into Virginia Tech, won 3 sets to none. Louisville trying to do the same. But look at that cutoff right there between 34 and 42.
Right there. You want to be in that top 35 to feel really good about it. We had UVA here last week and talking with Shannon Wells, their coach. I asked her, I was like, look, so you guys have like 6 matches left. And at that point, they were like 38 or so in the RPI. I said, what do you need to do? And they still had Stanford left, had Louisville left, have North Carolina left. She goes, we're going to do all we can, but it's out of our hands. And that's why you hope that you've packed in some wins early in the year against good competition.
Went for the Hokies. Tech takes the lead. Underclassmen and Pierce. Bouncing the ball, eyeing the serve here, up by 1. Got them now at 14 apiece for Palazzolo ready to come in.
I think you have to recognize as a team, as an individual, what are your opponent's bad rotations in serve receive? For everybody, just like now for Virginia Tech and for Notre Dame, it's usually rotation 1, setters from right back.
Bell Patrick.
Good swing right there.
down the line, finds some space and sends us to a break. 15-14, Virginia Tech up here in set number 3, trying to come back against the Irish.
People who come to cricket stay with cricket, like Lily.
With cricket, my bill hasn't changed in years. I know exactly what to expect, and they deliver.
Welcome to life without hidden fees. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile, you're on cricket.
Audiences everywhere are raving about Gladiator.
Strength and honor.
Gladiator.
Giving.
You've got to give a little, take a little.
Giving without expecting something in return. Giving that's possible through the power of Dell AI with Intel. So those who receive can find the joy of giving back.
That's the glory of love.
We did. Now get the all-new Nissan Kicks starting at just $21,830.
Past summer, I was on the 767 quality engineering team. Us QBs kind of go in and see like what part of the process is working, what part of the process isn't working. I had to go to these 50-year-old mechanics who have been doing this job for 30+ years and say, hey, I'm a 20-year-old intern and I think you're doing it wrong. Just not being scared to sound stupid or fail and just step outside my comfort zone. And I feel like that has definitely rolled over into my volleyball world. I'm more vocal on the court, or I just, I'm not as timid to speak my mind, or if I think that we should be doing something differently to help us, I'm not as timid to say that.
Yeah, good stuff there. Sarah Malinowski. Jake, what's your favorite internship you had?
My 4-year internship as a student assistant coach with Xavier Volleyball when I was in college.
There we go.
I caught the coaching bug real early, and I was like, all right, well, I just do this every day. Sarah Malinowski, Boeing is a major corporate partner of Virginia Tech. Do you have any idea, Bailey, how hard it is to be an engineer and to be a Division I athlete?
Oh, my gosh.
It is, I don't care what school, it is brutal. It is so hard. And it is not because, and I think that back in the day, there are schools and programs that say, hey, you need to study this, so you're here for practice. That doesn't really fly anymore. I mean, people want to study what they want to study. But engineering, man, God, that is so tough. It is so hard to do that with the time demands of being an athlete.
Not only that, just the classwork for someone who isn't a student athlete is already tough enough.
But and one of the things is hard is taking advantage of internships, because you don't have a traditional summer if you're a student athlete. You're on campus, and it's not at Virginia Tech, it's everywhere. You're on campus taking class, working out, helping out with summer camps, that kind of thing. So you don't get to take an internship or a co-op in the fall or the spring. You have practice. It's tough. It's really admirable.
Oh, Palazzolo finding Belle Patrick in the back, and boy, Belle Patrick has just been all over the floor tonight.
She's leaving it out there, Bailey. There's no question, man. It's a good swing from Palazzolo. Just going high. Dulesky's looking for tips. She's playing up underneath and right back. So there's really no line defender there for the Hokies.
Monson sends the ball into the air on a dig. Palazzolo, right hand.
That's a fancy dig from Munson.
Off the hands, point Hokies.
I like Karich there in this spot. Brings something a little bit different from Virginia Tech. More of a traditional high ball hitter on the right side. Just a lefty, a little bit easier to hit off medium passes or bad sets. You can see Karich just go right down the line. Palazzolo leaves that open for her, which I would too. I'd make her prove she can hit that line before you go block it.
Left hand Schrader. Into the air, kept alive.
And Dockery's been awesome tonight, middle back.
Haley Pierce. Cates now. Down the line, and the rally ends for Virginia Tech taking the lead.
We saw both teams have to execute off a setter defense there. Ella Sant with the dig. Then Erica Zaleski with the dig. I'm sorry, Victoria Walgren with the dig, necessitating libero setting.
Sant off balance there. Schrader with a left hand, quickly housed on the block. Timeout called by Salima Rockwell. It is a 2-point lead for Virginia Tech. Trying to make this one interesting here in set number 3.
And that's something that Notre Dame does well, they think. This is Schrader hitting off a bump set from Munson. Leandra Manuel-Duran, who is not known for her blocking, just puts her in a telephone booth.
Still got the energy here, down 2-0.
All you can do, Bailey, is just keep pressing on. Reverse sweeps are a thing. So the hard thing about volleyball, I think, separates it from other sports, like timed sports or things, is you have to beat someone 3 times. And you got to put teams away. You can't just run out the clock.
So for Virginia Tech, we've seen issues in the last 2 sets finishing out the set. What do the Hokies need to do here to actually finish this one out on top to make it 2-1?
Oh, you had 19 points. It's 19-17 right now. You need 6 points to win. If I'm in there in the huddle right now, we're telling our team we need to earn 4 of those 6 points. We need a couple kills, an ace and a block, and probably 4 digs. If we get that, we're gonna get out of here with a set 3 win. But you don't want to rely on Notre Dame making unforced errors. They've only made 8 unforced hitting errors in the match. That's not very many, honestly. So you're going to say, hey, how do we earn points? Let's get an ace. Let's get a block. Let's get 2 kills. Notre Dame will probably give us a couple. That's how we get to 25.
Now the race to 25 restarts 19-17. Notre Dame has came back multiple times tonight, and here is a 3-point lead for Virginia Tech.
That's a big miss from Fiona Schrader. That was unblocked. I mean, Robinson was there, but totally out of position. Wasn't expecting that 2-ball to go to Schrader. She's got to put that one in the court. Good tough serve there from Victoria Walgren, too.
Palazzolo got it back, though, for Notre Dame.
That's an excellent swing. Excellent swing from Sydney Palazzolo. Now Notre Dame's best server, Palazzolo, back to the line. Watch her work. Again, watch her work, Patrick. Kind of this area right here between Patrick and Sierra Cates. Perfect pass.
Into the stands. Hokies had the right play to take a 21-18 lead.
Oh, they've struggled to execute in spots like that. Nail the pass. Patrick sticks the pass. Manuel-Duran one-on-one against Schrader. Just hammers across court. Munson can't handle it.
Another block. Virginia Tech can feel it here in set 3.
Timeout here for Notre Dame. They need it. They can't get in system, Bailey.
So Notre Dame, 2 timeouts, parsed pretty closely together, 22-18, and answers. That's what Salima Rockwell is looking for now. So Virginia Tech getting Notre Dame out of system here.
Yeah, look at this. So they're out of system, passes the 10-foot line. Sant's actually having to go down to her knees to make that set, never get square. So the swing that Ross has to take is off the net. She knows she's double blocked. That's when you start trying to make stuff happen as an attacker of like, oh, how can I get a kill here? Well, I'm going to do something trickier. I'm going to work off the block from 8 or 9 feet off the net. you're not going to get a kill. Very, very rarely. So it's pick a shot that's going to do the best at taking Virginia Tech out of system. In this spot, talking with Selena Rockwell this week, they've got access to numbers we don't. Virginia Tech hits about 0. So same number of kills and errors. It's about 0 when their setter digs the ball and someone else, usually the libero, has to set the second ball. So when you're that far out of system, hit it right back. Even if it's the easiest ball in the world, make Victoria Walgren for Virginia Tech, make her play the first ball. That forces them into an automatic high ball situation, and they're not particularly effective, Virginia Tech, attacking in that spot. Make a better choice when the pass and the set are that bad.
Manuel Duran leading the way for Virginia Tech now with 10 kills. Out of that libero shirt we've seen her in most of her time here at Virginia Tech. 3 points away from making this a 2-1 game. See if they go at Walgren here. They do. Ross off of the fingertips, and that's just what Notre Dame needed right out of the timeout.
I think that's Avery Ross's first kill in the third set.
Make it 8.
He's cooled off a little bit offensively.
Haley Pierce is blocked. Sant for Schrader. Point Notre Dame. Now right out of the timeout, Notre Dame starting to tilt momentum back its way. They were down 22-18. Now all of a sudden, blink of an eye, 22-20. Jasmine Robinson powers it out of play. See if Marcy Byers wants to call a timeout here, and she does. Rally back for the Fighting Irish. This is where Virginia Tech has struggled for most of the season, playing in these really tightly contested matchups. Right here at the end of sets, just unable to finish, and now Notre Dame making them see a few ghosts of the past here.
Closing is a learned skill as a team. People talk about being clutch, and it's not. Like, clutch isn't a thing. It's being able to perform the same way at all times of the match. But finishing teams is hard. You have to learn how to do that. The way you do it, Bailey, is execute simple plays and then earn points. That's why we talked the last time out. Hey, how do you finish it? We need a couple kills. We need a block. We need an ace. They haven't gotten any of that.
Notre Dame, though, they've called 2 timeouts right here at the end of the third set. What did they do differently on that run that we didn't see out of them before?
They started hitting the ball in the court. that helps a lot. Look, I mean, it sounds flippant to say that, but it's true. I mean, you can't win making a ton of hitting errors. And also, in situations, I think Notre Dame's done well, Palazzolo especially, of when you're trying to hit the ball in the court, we're just trying to get it in. Not trying to get a kill, just trying to get it in. Like, you need to hit it in. You can't make a hitting error in that spot. So rotation 2 here for Virginia Tech. Watch Robinson in the middle, Pierce here, Patrick on the outside. That's their standard play set in this rotation.
Going for Pierce. See what the Hokies can do here. Haley Pierce is blocked. It goes out of play, and Virginia Tech can breathe for just a moment. 23-21.
That's a good read from Avery Ross on the block move. Pierce goes quick. Just works that inside hand from Ross. A little bit unlucky, I think, there for Notre Dame. That's a pretty good block setup.
Schrader off speed.
Good jig from Jasmine Robinson.
Angle Duran setting up set point for Virginia Tech.
They needed Robinson to make a play on defense right there. She struggled defensively on those tips. She gets the easy dig, and Manuel Duran there to put it away. It's overpass.
Overpass. Notre Dame fought it off. Bell Patrick, the Hokies take set 3. Virginia
on the court together. There's a big difference.
I believe this would be, and I thought I said it last year, but this is the last year of anybody having that COVID year.
Most of them.
Most of them.
You get some oddball ones where, you know, wrestling, you know, sports that have an Olympic red shirt.
Right.
You know, they could have not used that COVID year yet. Gable Steveson is a good example. I believe that's a COVID year for him. He's making his return to
Minnesota.
He spent his last season wrestling, I think, was 2023. And then Olympic red shirt, WWE, Buffalo Bills.
I forgot about the Bills part.
Still has eligibility, I guess, even though he played professional football theoretically. Like, woo!
Point Hokies. Virginia Tech starting to feel a bit of momentum here. Remember, first 2 sets taken by Notre Dame, they were tight. 25-20, 25-23. Virginia Tech takes set 3, 25-21.
Again, Haley Pierce up to 333 on 21 swings. They need to set her more. Get her the ball more if she's going to be that efficient. Whew.
Notre Dame climbs back.
You've got to play Schrader for that cross-court swing or that swing to her left, the defensive right. Let's make her, you know, if we're playing, if I'm talking to a team, I'm talking to Virginia Tech and say, hey, let's make her hit the ball the other way rather than allowing her to do what's comfortable.
It's now tied up. Now Notre Dame playing today, then going down to Virginia. They take on Virginia Tech again next week, but at home. Hokies trying to beat Notre Dame again. Beat them last season in the Castle, and it'll be a point for Virginia Tech here. Avery Ross looking on, 9 kills on the day. Well, Guilfoy back in to serve, the freshman from Indiana. Big swing off the left hand from Schrader. Knocked down. Not sure if even Bowl got a piece of that. It hit the net and dropped for a Notre Dame point. Speaking of wrestling, Jake, Virginia Tech taking on Rutgers in a ranked matchup cross campus at the Moss Arts Center. I think the Hokies are up 11-5. And that big win against Missouri at Castle Coliseum last week. Down the line, stuffed down, Fiona Schrader.
You a big college wrestling fan, Bailey?
I keep up with the Hokies at time to time, but it's impressive to see some of the schools out of the Big Ten, what they're able to do. I feel like that's the understatement of the year. Point for Notre Dame.
Schrader just working the block there, cross court. Last swing line against Bell Patrick, single block, scores down the line. This time cross court against a double. Works off of Hallman's inside hand. Finding kills wherever she wants them right now.
Haley Pierce.
That's one of the best swings I've seen Haley Pierce take. Watch her just come hard, hard, hard cross. Really unloads on that. Look, you hit it there. If I'm Selima Rockwell, you tell your team, like, all right, let's go to the next point. Like, you hit it. If they hit it there, they win. Like, that's okay. That's a tough swing. It's a small window. Let's move on. Other team has scholarships too.
Sant ready to jog out. Hanger in.
Watch Carrick run all the way across the court here. I lie. Stays in the middle.
Carrick is there with a left hand. Swatted in the air by Munson. Oleski, Hallman, pancake. Another dig. Patrick. Munson has been busy. Palazzolo. Talk about terminal swings. There's one. 7-4.
Munson only has 12 digs through a little more than 3 sets right now. But boy, it feels like every single one of them has just had to be maximum effort. Pancake, that one's a good one.
That wasn't even the best ran Virginia Tech play, but it falls.
Yeah, I got their wires crossed there a little bit. That set was also awful deep for a pipe attack. Leandro Manuel Duran doesn't make a hitting error, just sends it across the court. Notre Dame kind of botches that tip a little bit, or a lot.
Avery Ross blocked. Holman with the shrug. She's enjoying herself. The swing dug over. Schrader. One in the middle. Point Notre Dame.
Yeah, there's Jordan Hallman's in the net there on that tip. Manuel Duran and Carrick just collided going forward.
We've seen a good amount of collisions tonight.
Yeah, it's always scary. It's always scary. I guess Hallman catches it as she kind of reaches for it right there. Oh, boy. That brings back some bad memories.
And narrowly avoided the two heads knocking together. Blocked off of her shoulder. Patrick, valiant effort, but not enough.
That's the best you can do in that spot. You just got to kind of take a whack at it and hope you get it right.
Maisie Alexander in for the first time tonight for Notre Dame. Cates. Manuel Duran with a right hand. Schrader sets. Mazzolo. And Notre Dame very quickly said there were fingertips on that. Salima Rockwell, will we see a challenge?
So line judge has a tip, has a touch. First official, or R1, overruled that, which if the R1, the up ref, is going to overrule a line judge with a positive touch call.
Original decision on the previous play was ball out. Notre Dame's challenging that there was a touch on the play.
Yeah, if the R1 is overruling in that spot, they're really sure, because that's just not a common occurrence. If it's off of anything, it's Aisha Carrick's right hand.
I don't know. I don't know.
There's a touch.
Wow.
You can see, yeah, you can see her middle finger on her right hand.
Yep.
You can see it right there. Oh, right there. From that last angle, you can see that hand move just a little bit.
I have a feeling this one might not be a quick review. I've been wrong before, Jake.
Look, right here. Yeah, that's a touch. You know, sitting here live, that ball came off spinning, really kind of funky, that you can't make a call based on how the ball is spinning.
Notre Dame was challenging. There was a touch. The call is going to stand. Inconclusive. Notre Dame loses their challenge.
Wow.
So Notre Dame going to lose a challenge here.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I think the touch calls are really, really hard to see on a lot of replays. And that one looks pretty obvious to me, Bailey. I think I'm going to have to, might be my resolution for the 2025 season, is have a deeper conversation with some of our officials and maybe some of our official raters, people who evaluate our officials on exactly what they're looking for on replay review, because I don't think I see it the same way.
Oh, the middle finger move enough for Suzanne Dodd to overturn that? The answer is no. Bell Patrick, no need for a challenge on that. 11 kills for the freshman Bell Patrick. Coming off of a double-digit performance against Stanford, had 10 kills against the Cardinal.
So we've seen Notre Dame go to this rotation again where they bring Santon early. Get Schrader hitting out of the back row here.
Palazzolo, Virginia Tech.
The argument is Schrader's more effective out of the back row than the right front player, the right side player who Sant's replacing.
Hokies trying to send this to set number 5. Virginia Tech has lost now 10 in a row. Lone ACC win against Clemson. There's a block, tie ball game.
Bell Patrick is just so aggressive in shoving her teammates after they do something good.
And we've seen a lot of energy from the freshman from Cary, North Carolina tonight. Another block, Jasmine Robinson. Here comes Bell Patrick again.
So the thing is a good move. It's a good move from Jasmine Robinson. They run straight up the middle on the pipe. Just doesn't really move it either way. Doesn't move it left, doesn't move it right. Robinson just stays nice and solid right in the middle, makes her pay for a mistake.
Tight serve, pancake, no. Ace, Virginia Tech. Timeout called by Salima Rockwell, sending us to a break. Virginia Tech has the momentum. Down 2 sets to 1, but up 12-10 here at set 4.
Audiences everywhere are raving about Gladiator.
Strength to Notre!
Gladiator.
A coach who wants everyone to give their all. And J.D. Power's #1 compact SUV for long-term dependability for 2024. The all-new 2025 Equinox and Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Amazon Black Friday week is here. Woo! Woo! With deals up to 40% off. Woo! Shop great deals all week on Amazon. Woo!
Hokies on a great run now, up by 2, 12-10. The energy booster has been Bell Patrick. What a run it has been here in set 4.
Yeah, getting it done on defensively. Big block there from Manuel Durand, another one from Jasmine Robinson. Hokies have forced Notre Dame into several errors here in the last couple minutes. Can they keep the pressure on from the service line?
Virginia Tech has had trouble finishing out sets so far this season. Finally getting a win in the ACC at home in a set. Now just up 1 though. Notre Dame making it pretty close here. A team that has struggled with injuries throughout the season. Virginia Tech did beat the Fighting Irish last year in 5 sets. Can they do it again here in 2024? Walgren. Angle to Rand. She's blocked. Schrader and Bowl combining on that.
Good move from Schrader here. That hole in that low seam has been open before for Manuel Duran with that kind of power tip. Not that time.
Slide play off the mark. Point Notre Dame.
I'd like to see Virginia Tech run Robinson more on the slide. They rarely run it, and they even more rarely set it. You have to make your opponents defend 30 feet of net, Bailey.
Almost tried it again. Instead, it's Haley Pierce. Got a feeling that set 4 is going to come down to the wire again. They've been all close. A left hand.
Yeah, it's a good swing. She's a little on her way down a little bit. When hitters get their timing wrong, it's so tough as a blocker, Bailey, because you jump based on when they jump. Sometimes a little bit early, sometimes a little bit late. Depending on how high of a jumper you are personally. When they get it wrong, you're kind of out to dry as a blocker.
Algren sets Haley Pierce. Alazzolo for Pierce again. Off speed and a pancake. Bell Patrick. Out of play for the freshman.
Something to keep an eye on here, Bailey. We have two teams running double sub 6-2, so they're changing their setter and their right side every three rotations. Okay, they're double subbing. You get 15. This will be a tough pass here. You get 15 substitutions per set, and then you're done. And whoever's in the court has to stay on the court. Both teams, if the thing keeps going back and forth like this, trading points, siding out back and forth, they're going to run out of subs here around 20 points. 20, 22, and they're going to have to make some choices about who stays. I think that's an easier choice for Notre Dame, just because Schrader plays all the way around.
Well, Notre Dame down 12-10 going into that timeout that Salima Rockwell called. Now up 16-13. It's been a game of runs that we have seen so far. Virginia Tech had a bit of a run there to close out set number 3. Here we are in set 4. Notre Dame trying to win 2 in a row. So now up here by 3. Take a look around the ACC. Stanford handling its business against Duke. Georgia Tech, Florida State, that's a good matchup.
North Carolina, that's a match they can't lose.
Louisville and Virginia also.
SMU down to NC State would be we'll see if that holds. That would be a big upset and a massive win for NC State, a team that is they're on the bubble, but I think that they're on the outside looking in right now. They're probably like the next 4 out type of range.
Well, speaking of that, you talk about North Carolina. Why is that match they can't lose against Cal?
Because Cal is in that bottom 4 or 5 of the ACC, and that would be as North Carolina. I think that they're solid for a tournament berth, but you don't want to take a bad loss second to last week of the season. There is no ACC tournament. Selection Sunday is a week from this Sunday. You don't want to have that on your resume, even though they don't look at last 10 matches anymore. But you don't want to have that right at the end of the year.
Jasmine Robinson. Oh, it was teed up perfectly for her, just missed the mark.
Especially because for Carolina, you have Stanford on Sunday. That's a whole challenge in itself.
Pierce blocked, but out of play. Hokies get a gift back.
Haley Pierce, big night. Her 12th kill. I think she's very comfortable on the right side. Swings very naturally over there. And Virginia Tech is controlling the ball well enough on first contact to be able to get her the ball a lot tonight.
Going for Schrader, blocked, and it lands in. Bell Patrick. Another look at this block to get the Hokies within 2.
I think we failed to recognize it, but Fiona Schrader is well into a triple-double tonight. 15 kills, 17 assists, and 15 digs.
Make that 14 on the season. Tech hanging around, only down 1. 11 on the season for Schrader. Make it actually 14 on the career. And triple doubles. There's a block. Bell Patrick, a couple of big blocks back to back.
Stays inside, goes against the lefty. Schrader tries to take that line. Doesn't take it line enough. Patrick drifts a little bit, actually. She kind of drifts outside on that block. I wonder if that's a read. She's seeing line.
She's there again. Oh, but just missed it.
I think she changed her mind in midair there, Bailey. I think she thought when she jumped she was taking a full swing at that, and then saw an open space kind of in zone 4, so short left. Went to just tap it down or tip it down the net and botched it. All right, you got it. If you're Bell Patrick, you got to move on. You can't let that affect you.
Going to Patrick here. Ross. Captain Cates. Ross gets stuffed. Point Hokies tied it up again.
You got to be disappointed if you're Notre Dame. Make a hitting error out of a free ball situation. This thing never clears the net for Ross. That's straight into the tape and down. The call was actually 4 contacts. It hit Anna Bjork on the way down.
Here comes Ross again. Hokies trying to storm back, take the lead in set 4.
I'll say, Bailey, both teams are dialed in on defense now, unlike how they were at the beginning of the match.
There's Pierce. No defensive answer that time. Munson favoring her arm.
I don't like that lift call. I think that's a solid play. She played it with an open hand there. Didn't end up not mattering. Nobody was going to get it for the 3rd contact, but I don't like the lift call.
Hokies just 6 away now to try to send this into set number 5 and a 10-game skid. Block is there again. Virginia Tech up 2. Salima Rockwell calls a timeout. Virginia Tech can smell set 5.
So Virginia Tech has really gotten keyed in on Schrader here, as we'll see. So she's so wide. You see the block sets up wide, forces her to try and cut. She can't go line, so you force her to try and go cross court. She doesn't go far enough cross court, gets blocked by Hallman. There's 2 ways you can play that situation, Bailey, when the set's outside the antenna. You can either go shut the pin off, shut off the antenna, block line, which is what Virginia Tech did, or you can go away from the hitter and try and take away the sharp cross court. What that does sometimes, if you're undisciplined, allows them to get a tool off your outside hand. I like that execution from Virginia Tech. That's 3 hitting errors for Fiona Schrader in about the last 10 points.
Take a look at Salima Rockwell, who has, at least in the body language, been very positive here. And not to say that she isn't right now, but looks like there is a bit of frustration with this Notre Dame team.
Salima Rockwell is an incredible competitor. I know from firsthand experience, Bailey. I remember playing, you brought it up on our call this week. I played against Salima when I was in high school.
Wow.
And she was the assistant coach at University of Pittsburgh. She used to come in and play with a men's open team with a bunch of former men's professionals. We would scrimmage against them. I remember her absolutely destroying us on a men's net, like just dominating at 5'9", 5'8", whatever she is. She's an incredible player.
Now trying to surge some competitiveness here in set number 4 out of a timeout. Some of those have gone well for Notre Dame. Not this one just yet. A point for the Hokies, just 4 away from sending this to set 5.
Pierce again. Now I think we're seeing Virginia Tech maybe getting low on subs. Pierce is staying in to serve. Walgren is staying in on left front to set. Now we're getting a double switch, okay.
So a service error keeps Notre Dame in it. Fiona Schrader, senior setter that also leads this team in kills. He's got 15 tonight, another triple-double with 17 assists and 15 digs.
Last time was Carrick up the middle on a 2-ball here in this rotation. See if they go to it again.
Bell Patrick trying to pick on Munson. Into the net, point Hokies. Bell Patrick, the leader tonight for Virginia Tech. 13 digs, 11 kills for the freshman. He does have an ace. Angle Duran attacks the block and comes up big.
Tell you what, Leandra Manuel-Duran has not hit in weeks. That's her 14th kill, leads Virginia Tech tonight.
Avery Ross off of the block. Notre Dame not going down just yet. It's 23-20. Hokies trying to send this into a 5th set. Most recently played a 5th set in Charlottesville against Virginia.
I think you've got to really focus on Carrick and Hallman here on a good pass. See if you can take Manuel-Duran one-on-one. Oh.
Off of the block again. Set point coming up for the Hokies.
Oh, it's so good. Just that tool shot. She kind of just tucks her left shoulder in cross court and chops that ball across her body off the block. That's a veteran kill right there.
Set point for Tech. Palazzolo says not yet. (24-21) still set point. And it's up to Anna Bjork.
Bjork's got to bring it from the service line here.
Oleski. Carrick. Off of the block, and we're headed to set number 5. Virginia. Shank with you here.
Other thing to look out for, Palazzolo is starting left front for Notre Dame, so she's going to be matched up on Pierce the entire 5th set.
There's a block to start it off.
That's gonna become really significant as the match moves on. Palazzolo's blocking Pierce, and Pierce is blocking Palazzolo for the rest of the night.
Andra Manuel-Duran off speed to tie it up. Braden, what do you got for us?
Yeah, Bailey was listening in on both huddles there. The big thing that head coach Shalima Rockwell was preaching to Notre Dame is that the team has to go after it. They got to start doing the little things right, because in the process, they'll start doing the bigger things. But again, the big thing, you got to go after it and you want it. That's the big thing that head coach Shalima Rockwell was preaching.
We'll see if Notre Dame can go after it here. They have let the Hokies climb back. Langer with a swing to go down the line to take it up to 2-1. Remember, that set only goes to 15.
I think Langer is surprised by anybody that worked. That was not the cleanest swing in the world, and somehow finds the floor for a kill.
Haley Pierce, Hokies trading haymakers with the Irish now, 2-2. Hallman jogs back in.
Now you see Robinson is coming out for Ella Guilfoy as a serving sub. You can do more serving subs because you're never going to get the 15 subs in a set to 15. It's just not going to happen. You can substitute more freely if you have effective servers. And as much as anything, Guilfoy's in there to play defense in this rotation.
Palazzolo
comes up with a dig.
Patrick off of the block, takes the lead for Virginia Tech.
I'll tell you, Bailey, as a head coach, you love when you push a button and it works out. Ella Guilfoy comes in for a middle blocker, has a good serve, takes Notre Dame out of system, and then that's a much tougher D than it looks like. That ball was hit better by Palazzolo than you would expect. Another good serve.
Palazzolo off the body of Walgren. Three. Got ourselves a great matchup here tonight. Notre Dame took the first 2 sets. Virginia Tech sets 3 and 4 winners. Here is Ella Sant. Wow, Jordan Hallman.
And it's a really perfect play set for a pass like that. The pass is super tight. Walgren's got to go get it, but they're running the 31. You see Hallman is further away. It's an easy set. Not an easy play, but it's an easier set when she's running that 31. You can see her. You can flip that ball out to her. It's a good run from Virginia Tech.
Can't come up with a block there.
Yeah. Hey, 2 balls are tough to stop against a good 2-ball hitter like Fiona Schrader. Kind of works it through Walgren coming in to help out and block. If you're going to triple block a 2-ball, that kind of higher set in the middle, Bailey, if you're going to triple block that as a wing blocker, you got to be super tight and disciplined. Can't give them something to work off of. Either you don't touch it or you stuff it, ideally.
Trying to track it down. Bell Patrick swats it over the net. Sant for Schrader. Dug out.
Good set.
Another chance for Schrader. She's blocked.
This is really tight.
Another block for the Hokies.
Good recycle there from Notre Dame.
Cates. Bell Patrick trying to end it, and she does. That just feels super crucial here. 5-4.
That's a big-time swing. Watch her tuck in cross-court, then swing across her body. She's showing cross-court with her approach and her body, and then kind of swings down the line without turning her shoulders too much. It's a deceptive swing.
Look out. Carrick swings it over, and the Hokies take a 6-4 lead. How did that happen?
It's one of those ones where you're on the bench, you're like, oh, no, yes. I'd say Virginia Tech looks a lot more poised here in set 5.
Duran with a paintbrush over. Patrick. Avery Ross, she's blocked. It was about only a matter of time before Avery Ross came in to have some offensive production in this one.
7 kills in the first 2 sets for Ross. Only 4 kills since then. I like the Manitza substitution here. Number 1 for Notre Dame. Solid receiver. Give Palazzolo a blow. Let her get a rest before she comes back in and try and win the match.
Oh. Wow, look at Bjork.
That's a completely missed connection there between Sant and Bjork. That is totally a botched run in the middle, but Bjork keeps her head about her. She's on her way down. Oh, set's so low, she's almost from her armpit. Does the smart thing. That's a really deceptive little tip.
Carrick. Schrader's blocked. But it goes out of play. All of a sudden, Notre Dame takes the lead right back.
Asked Sleemer Rockwell about how do they handle this setter digging situation with the libero setting. Like, well, it really helps when half the time we have Fiona Schrader out there to hit it.
Angle Duran. Schrader lofts over the block. Hokies with no answer. And that'll bring us to a break here. Notre Dame up in set 5, 8-6.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, like Lily.
With Cricket, my bill hasn't changed in years. I know exactly what to expect, and they deliver.
Welcome to life without hidden fees. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile, you're on Cricket.
I am an American soldier. I'm a warrior and a member of a team. I will never accept defeat.
I am an American soldier.
The holidays, and Chevy Silverado, and off-road adventure, and towing with confidence, and tech you can count on. And it all comes together in a Chevrolet.
Find your red tag. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Plus, get $3,750 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Chevrolet, the #1 selling truck brand in the Carolinas for 3 years.
I want you to imagine waking up tomorrow. How do you feel? No, how do you want to feel?
A new head coach.
Make it about us. We beat the odds.
And her new assistant.
Hey, Google, find me an alternate route. Because you decide the outcome.
And a must-win game.
No, we decide the outcome.
And the vision and a car that always delivers.
Bring it in! I want you to imagine waking up tomorrow.
The all-new 2025 Equinox and Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Back in Blacksburg. That's the last break we have for you in this one, folks. 8-6. Notre Dame is up. All knotted up at 2 sets apiece. You see there, Notre Dame won the first couple very tight sets. And the same thing for the third and fourth. But it was the Hokies that were triumphant. Now can they cap off the comeback? It's a 4-0 run for the Fighting Irish. Salima Rockwell's team coming off of a win against Duke. Virginia Tech has lost 10 straight matches. Marcy Byers looking on, Salima Rockwell now the same. Notre Dame, a team that is hampered by injuries this season. Virginia Tech trying to cap off a big ACC win. Looked out of system there, but get the ball over. Schrader stuffs the ball, and that is a 9-6 lead for the Fighting Irish.
So Virginia Tech staying in a 5-1 here. Walgren setting front row. Pierce staying in the back row, receiving there.
Cates can't keep the ball alive. 10-6. And a timeout by Marcy Byers.
So it's an interesting tactical move by Marcy Byers leading Pierce in. So if Haley Pierce is going to stay in the back row, you need a setter. Like you got to get her the ball. Trying to change up a little bit here. May see them switch back to a 6-2. Bring Carrick back in and Dulesky set. Just for a little bit, again, different look.
So a timeout called by Marcy Byers. Virginia Tech has controlled the momentum the previous 2 sets. Here now, Notre Dame on a bit of a run against Virginia Tech. 10-6 the score. Final set. Hokies haven't played in many 5-set matches this year. And the first one in conference play at home against this Notre Dame team. Ready to go back out on the floor. .60 run for the Fighting Irish. Fiona Schrader, another triple-double for her, 19 kills, 20 assists, and 15 digs. As Virginia Tech have one more comeback effort in it. And an ace. Not what the Hokies wanted out of the timeout.
It's tough with Haley Pierce. She hasn't received very much this match. You see it kind of right there, maybe not totally comfortable in there in serve receive right now.
Comes Pierce, point Hokies. Haley Pierce now with 15 kills on the night.
There's an argument here from Notre Dame. That ball was probably diggable, but Hattie Munson collided, or would have collided, with one of our camera people right here on the court side. I mean, in my judgment, it was a gettable ball. And that's the argument right now. The R1 is saying that, because here's the thing. So officials, a line judge, you collide with a line judge or a down ref, that's just tough luck. They're part of the playing area, whereas camera staff, TV staff is not. This is a judgment call by our officials here. If this ball is diggable, if it's gettable, which I think it absolutely was by Hattie Munson, this should be a replay. And they're going to talk it out right now, which is really funny because now in 2024, our officials have headset communications. Let's see if I can hear it.
Well, hard to hear now. Rob Boggs and Suzanne Dodd. A discussion here. Well, the call right now is out of play. Let's take a look at what you can review.
So the conversation here, this is not reviewable. The conversation is our officials are talking about. Suzanne Dodd's asking, do you think she could have played the ball? And I can't hear what Rob Boggs is saying. This one feels like they're going to stick with the call. It's not challengeable. It's not reviewable. In my mind, that ball was gettable for sure. It was right in front. It was right in front of us, Bailey. I mean, I could have reached out and played it. And this is Selima Rockwell getting the bad news.
Oh,
I think it's. I think we should get a look at it. And the other issue is, yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. Like, we've got a lot of people around the court side. We just do. And here's the play right here. So that's touched. Yeah. You know what? Now that I see that, that's less gettable than I thought. She would have had to go full. Yeah, she would have had to, you know, if our cameraman's not sitting there, she would have had to, like, Superman herself head first into the LED boards courtside. I don't think she was making that play. So now seeing that on replay, I changed my mind.
So let's see if it ends up mattering here. That could be a big play here in the fifth set. Angle Duran. Off of Bell Patrick. That ball looked like it was going out, but Avery Ross now with 13 kills, and Notre Dame is just 3 away.
Yeah. Bell Patrick's kind of of two minds there, not sure if she is touched and she should play it or let it go.
After Haley Pierce again. Ross heating up, and at the right time for Notre Dame.
Timeout here again for Virginia Tech. The one thing they haven't done is go back to Dulesky and Carrot, go back to a 3-hitter phase.
So just 2 away for Notre Dame to try to end this one in 5 sets. Take a look at the upcoming schedule. Here, Virginia Tech, Louisville on Sunday. So it'll be interesting playing Wednesday at Notre Dame to get this team again. They're going to be very familiar with each other after playing this one in 5 sets, and then closing out the season on Black Friday against Syracuse. Well, Notre Dame staying in the Commonwealth, going to Charlottesville on Sunday. That's you talked about must-win for North Carolina against Cal. You're talking about Virginia. That's a match that Virginia absolutely has to win.
Can't lose. You know, it's more the way I look at it. Like, it's not going to help your RPI very much, but losing is catastrophic.
Avery Ross, all smiles, loose going out onto the floor. She's got 13 kills. Just 2 away now from stifling this Virginia Tech comeback effort. Notre Dame looking to win 2 in a row. Can the Hokies come back and end their 10-game losing skid? Angle to Ran. Oh, a dig. Benitez kept the ball alive. Knuckled over by Cates. Ross tacks the block. Haley Pierce now. Another chance for Ross.
What a dig from Andrew Manuel Duran.
They go to Bjork. Long rally, Manuel Duran. Still alive. Ross gets blocked. And Walgren keeps Virginia Tech in this game.
Sleemer Rockwell up on her feet, silent Notre Dame. Telling her players that was well played. Big block there from Walgren. It's kind of a scramble play. Schrader was all the way on the Virginia Tech side of the court on the sidelines.
Comes Bjork. Bell Patrick limboed out of the way just in time. Timeout call by Salima Rockwell.
Yes, that's 2 hitting errors in a row for Notre Dame. I think that's a little bit of an early timeout. You could have let it go maybe 1 more point. But she's going to take the time. They're going to talk it out, set up a plan. The nice thing about 13-9 is when you side out, you've got match point. You know, so you're setting up, here's how we're going to side out. If it doesn't work the first point, so we're going to do it on the second point, you know, 13-10. And then once we side out, here's who we're serving. Here's what we have to look out for. You want to focus on let's get this one, but how do we get our team thinking about the steps to closing out a match?
Well, Notre Dame doesn't look concerned there on the sideline. Virginia Tech focused. Bell Patrick back out onto the floor. 13-9. It's been a fun one. Patrick looking on. She has really energized this Virginia Tech team with 13 kills, 14 digs. Walgren to serve. What a serve it was. Here comes Haley Pierce. Benitez digs the ball straight in the air.
The Benitez sub is really, really smart. Again, she's made play after play tonight.
So Benitez with the dig, Ross with the kill. Match point coming up for Notre Dame.
Yeah, Benitez just has to be, you got to be happy with yourself after how she's come in tonight. Made a bunch of good digs, received well, good first touches and transition. Impact sub.
Goes to the sideline with 7 digs. Angle to Ran is blocked. Bjork is there, and the freshman puts an exclamation point on the end of this match. 3-2, Notre Dame holds on to win.